In these uncertain economic times, it's easy to be worried about protecting your wealth, your hard-earned savings, and your family's financial future. Plunging interest rates, the devaluating dollar, and political unrest constantly threaten what you have worked hard to earn and all that you own. That's why now it's more important than ever to protect your assets and have the money you need to make your dreams come true. Welcome to the Global Wealth Fortress Report with successful global entrepreneur and wealth preservation expert Joel Nagel. Joel's helped thousands of people just like you protect what you have so that you can make even more and make your every dream come true. So, sit back and enjoy Joel Nagel's offshore expert advice on how you can live the good life at a great price, where the sun never sets on your financial fortress.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Global Wealth Fortress Report. I'm Joel Nagel. My very special guest today is Luigi Wewege, who is Senior Vice President for Client Services at Caye International Bank in Belize. We are here at the President's Week Conference in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're going to be here for the next 4 or 5 days together, and I thought I'd grab some of the truly interesting folks who have come in for this conference. It's a 5-day event, and it's actually quite an exclusive event. It's an opportunity for people to really spend a lot of one-on-one time with speakers and talk about their personal situation. But I thought I'd grab Luigi for a few minutes and have him join us. So, Luigi, thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you, Joel. Really appreciate it.
And I know that you came here from Panama. You were kind of in a lockdown situation, so it must be nice to be able to move around and see the sunshine and people, interact. So you represent a Caye International Bank, as we said, and you've been working there now for a few years.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about the bank and why should people be interested in banking in Belize as opposed to in their home country?
Yep. So Caye International Bank has quite a storied history. It actually started as a mortgage company in 1996, and with your foresight and Mike Cobbs, converted it to a bank on I think 29th of September 2003. And
that's great. You got that date.
Yeah, and now it's not only the only international bank headquartered on Burgess Caye, but it's actually the only fully focused international bank in Belize, and growing, and hope to continue the success for many years.
Perfect. Talk a little bit about the kinds of products. I know you can't get into specific rates and things like that, but if I'm looking at banking in Belize, what kind of products and services could I expect?
Sure. So we have a lot of traditional and non-traditional kind of banking financial services. Obviously, we have the standard bank accounts, demand deposit, which a lot of people would know as a checking account. We have lifestyle, which also a lot of people know as a savings account. And then obviously term deposit CDs, we offer those. Obviously a card program for our personal and corporate clients. And
card, you mean like a credit card,
Visa
debit
card,
card?
yeah,
Visa
card,
great.
and obviously can be used anywhere where the Visa logo is accepted. And some non-traditional, obviously. Gold loan programs receiving a lot of interest lately with the gold price, and we have service provider in Zurich, Switzerland that we connect with on that, and and obviously a big one for us is home financing, and as I mentioned, Caye Bank started as a mortgage company. What essentially happened was a lot of Americans and Canadians came to the island, fell in love with the place, would call their banker in America or Canada and ask, hey, I'd love to finance this condo, and couldn't do it. Walked into a local bank in Belize, they wouldn't assist as well because they're not a Belizean resident or citizen, and so then come to us, and we help them finance their dream home.
Yeah, that still is pretty much the main niche, isn't it?
Yep.
Folks who want to have a retirement or second home, not only in Belize but in the whole region, right?
Yep.
So, what are some of the other countries where you're active?
Yeah, so it's not just, we don't just finance just in Belize. I'd say bigger ones as well for us would be Costa Rica, Nicaragua, and Panama as a focus. But we can actually finance anywhere. It's case by case basis. Just present us what you're planning on doing, and we'll take a look and try and help you do it.
Now, a lot of people want to use an international bank to have currency diversification. So in addition to holding money in dollars, what are some of the other currencies that people can open accounts and do their business in if they want?
So we operate 5 main currencies, obviously the US dollar, Canadian dollar, euro, British pound, and Swiss franc. And as you touched on, that's obviously a financial diversification play. You might come from a country that doesn't actually offer you those currencies, so you can come and bank with us and be able to have access to those currencies.
And if you want to have exposure through investment products to more, exotic currencies, can you access those as well?
Yeah, so the bank has a number of different partners and service providers. So don't despair if we don't have the currency that you want to actually operate in. We can actually facilitate that for you. So, and I mentioned financial diversification. It's also asset protection, because now you've got a basket of currencies, and you've got deposits sitting in various currencies, so it helps from an asset protection play. Yep.
Well, maybe just touch on that a little bit more. So we talked about currency diversification, asset protection. Talk about that. That's something near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
So how can opening a foreign bank account help you from an asset protection standpoint?
So there's obviously there's a number of things. Positives, I'd say, to banking in Belize. Obviously a zero tax jurisdiction. There's strong bank secrecy laws. There's no exchange controls. So if you want to put in $5 million today, you can actually withdraw $5 million tomorrow. There's no one's going to stop you there. It's also other benefits, I'd say, is Belize, politically stable country, local currency pegged to the US dollar. Our bank reserve requirements are 4 to 5 times higher than those of banks in North America. Caye's liquidity ratio is actually one of the highest of any global bank, and that's actually set at 24%. And so what I mean by that is essentially every dollar that goes in, a quarter of that actually has to sit within the bank. So.
Well, Luigi, this has been great. It felt a little bit like speed dating, because I've heard you give this presentation over about 45 minutes. So to get it all in 5 minutes, we really appreciate it. One thing you did mention is it's certainly a wonderful place to go to visit your money and visit your banker.
Yep.
So if you'd like to look at opening an account and can reach out to you, how can people reach you?
Yeah, so obviously reach out to Nagel and Associates, and you can make the introduction. We can take it from there, and that's actually a good point. We'd love for you to visit, but we can actually open the account remotely. That can be done as well. But come visit us. We pride ourselves on private banking and case by case basis. So tell us what your financial goals and dreams are, and we'll work with you and trying to help you achieve those.
I think that is really a key point. When you talk about private banking, it's not necessarily private in the sense that it's secret. No, it's private in the sense that you're working with a banker.
Yep.
I have bank accounts in the States, but I don't ever go in and sit down with the banker,
Yep.
talk to them like you said about my goals and objectives. Whereas I think with you, you can do that. It's not only about your currencies, it's your investments, it's your mortgages,
Yep.
it's everything. So
yeah, I actually also have bank accounts in the States, and recently, just to try and speak to someone, I'm a client of the bank, and it took me over an hour to actually speak to someone. Whereas in Belize, we'll answer the phone, and not only do we answer the phone, we know actually who you are, and someone will obviously speak to you in English as well. So
Great.
a lot of benefits there. Yeah.
Well, again, I hope you'll take an opportunity to come and visit Luigi and Caye Bank, and I want to thank you for tuning in to this edition of the Global Wealth Fortress Report. Till next time, I wish you happiness, I wish you health, and I wish you a wealth that can't be taken or destroyed by others. See you next time. Goodbye.
Thanks for joining Joel Nagel and the Global Wealth Fortress Report, a whole new approach to asset protection and estate planning, so that now you can live the good life at a great price, where the sun never sets on your financial fortress.